From the depths of internet, we come to you. Bad news, good news, dead horse beating news. Even no news will stop us. We'll make news. Even if it is in dumpster fire. We bring you integrity, except when it's EA, Ubisoft, Bethesda, Star Citizen, practically all of them. Movies, shows, and other industry bullshit. This totally is not a waste of time, but it sure is. Space Waste News!
Hello and welcome to Space Waste News for, what is today? October 23rd, 2021. I cannot believe that this is, what, it's almost Halloween, right?
Well, it is quite indeed, yes. Halloween.
Yeah.
Soonish, you know, it's 23, so yeah, about 7-8 days, depends on how you count, you know. So yeah, there you go, folks. Ladies and gentlemen, we have faces, imagine that, for the first time ever for this
I was just about to say. Oh, it looks like I'm lagging really hard on the Twitch side, but it's fine. We have duo. Yeah, we have duo face cams for today.
Pretty much.
Yes.
A little bit more something to look at, and perhaps
you guys
projectile vomit afterwards.
You get to see my ugly mug along with Yemix is here.
Quite indeed.
And of course, yeah. By the way, and again, happy 10 years, man.
Yes, we might as well kick off the news as this is the 7th day in a row as I've been streaming all sorts of games, not just one. The obvious one or two obvious ones. Just trying a hand in a little bit different stuff and just keeping up a schedule for this sort of a celebratory nonsense. Also on my social media, I decided, well, hey, fuck it, I'm gonna post something every day at least, except for today, because I just didn't think of anything good. So, well, there you go. Even fucking Facebook can fucking kill me for that. But anyways, there you go. A little bit more activity for the for this particular time to celebrate, you know, just me not quitting after, you know, unsuccessful cavalcade, let's just say, of videos and all that stuff. So, woo.
Ladies and gentlemen, a man who has been self-flagellating for 10 years. Let's give him a round of applause.
You know. All right then. Well, we got some news today for the internet from them internets about the internet's games. Well, aside from the, of course, anniversary nonsense. Well, I suppose we can go into the main topic, which is a little dangerous, kind of, to sort of wrap it up quickly so folks can, I don't know, maybe stop watching or maybe just blue ball them till the very end. I wonder which one would be the best one, huh? What do you think?
It's fine. Let's just get it over with.
All right.
So Elite has stuff. Listen, before we do this though,
okay.
Every single time we end up talking about Elite, I end up getting pissed off because
I wonder why.
Because it's effective. And I'm going to ask if we can at least attempt for me to not just lose my shit over some horribly botched news. Just tell me it's not botched before we start. Can you just tell me it's not fucked up for no reason?
Well, the news that we got is essentially this week they did not release the update 8, which promised some question mark performance upgrades, updates, whatever you want to call them, the new SRV and I think it was fleet carrier interiors, or was it no, it was fleet carrier interiors as well. So yeah, you know, these little things, they postponed it for next week. That's basically that is their promise. But yeah, they on the Twitters and whatever else, basically announced that, yeah, hey, we're gonna release it next week. So when next week is a good question, but here you go. We can prepare to see whether or not I was right by showcasing off the early result of SRV by the name of Scorpion. If you don't know what that is, I did make a video about leaks, so go take a look at the video about that whole thing.
So basically, it's the same as the last time we talked about Elite, but just delayed.
There you go.
Yes?
That's as much news as we got for Elite Dangerous. I think you had something else there too.
I do actually. And this is kind of like the sad part. Drew Wager, if you guys are not familiar, is wrote one of the books, great tentpole and
more than just
major
one of the
pillar
books,
of the.
But yeah.
Major tentpole, major community member. He's not going to be doing any more Elite stuff.
Yes, indeed. He announced that he'd be moving on to something else, whatever that something else might be. Of course, as a creator on YouTube, doing Elite Dangerous content, you'd expect, well, he's jumping ship to one of the other usual suspects, if you will. But apparently,
he does do No Man's Sky.
Kinda is, yeah, No Man's Sky, but
yeah,
he has seemed at least to express more interest into just doing his live stuff, if you will. Basically, just working on nuggets.
So what happened with I don't know. I watched his goodbye stream where he basically announced and everything like that, and he basically hit a lot of the same notes I did, which is, somebody confronted him and said, hey, look, if they fixed all of the stuff with Odyssey, if they went and patched all the bugs and they added this or that or blah 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 blah, would you want to play Odyssey then? And he thought about it. He goes, no.
That's the same sentiment I had. Let's see. Yeah, that's the same sentiment I had for Odyssey in general when it came out on my quote-unquote review that I made about it and a few other videos. Because the thing is, performance, yes, it is on the basic principle unacceptable. However, even with that, what is left over for the content portion, even if it was working, mate, there's just nothing in it. A really shitty, and I mean really shitty, FPS gameplay, which is piggybacking on massivest, grindest ever gameplay loop, if you will, and non-existent exploratory stuff.
I don't blame him at all for leaving. It's the exact same
why
thing
would you pay $40
$40
and play it for it? Because not even story is there. So yeah, not that Elite would ever have really much of a story, but well.
I did get a kick out of the fact that he turned around and he goes, I don't want my opinion to be an official endorsement of whether the game is dying or anything like that. And I'm like, dude, you're like the 8th largest. You're like the largest creator that's left in the last month or so, following the 8 people who've already bailed. Yeah, no, that's a pretty fucking good indicator that the game is dying. Really? Okay, but sure. Jeez.
Well, as I said in my video, literally titled "Is Elite Dangerous Dying?" My specific, shall we say, judgment of that particular sentence is, it's not up to us whether or not the game dies or not. It's up to the developers to, kill it or fight for it, and we'll see. In a year, what happens in a 2-year result, and at that point it'll be pretty much clear what the company is more interested in doing, especially because right now they still are in the phase where they're mandated to upkeep the damn thing. Once that mandate drops, I wonder what will happen. So yeah.
Anyway, that's pretty much all I got for Elite and all I'm willing to tolerate for Elite. How about you?
Yeah, that's as much as I want to poke this thing with whatever foot poles. Ay, ay, ay.
Let's see. All right, let's get all the bad shit out of the way.
Oh boy. What you got?
Let's see. Cyberpunk updates have been delayed until the first quarter of 2022.
Oh yeah, I saw like 1.31. It introduced literally very few things as well. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
I'm just.
I mean,
thinking,
what did we get? Like
how
a couple
long has it
outfits?
been since Cyberpunk launched? It was
Over a year. Or wait, no, wait, hold on.
It was April 2020. No.
I think it's been 20 months.
20 months. Jesus Christ! And in that time, I mean, it is a massive thing, but then again, it's not like CD Projekt Red is a small company anymore as well.
Yeah.
So, in a way,
well, that
you
was
kind
the,
of expect results too. But
yeah, no, I mean, by the way, I'm not gonna misrepresent it. The last patch did update more than, just give you a couple free clothes. That was what was on the patch list, so that's what I focused on. But I ended up playing it, and there was a couple like new quick hacks. There was a couple new this, a couple new that, blah blah blah. But ultimately, it wasn't a lot, and I honestly spent more time trying to break the game than I did trying to play it.
Now, for me, Cyberpunk was immediately, well, as with every game that is released, Elite Dangerous was a prime example of that, as a matter of fact. And that was to ask for, okay, you cut down features and decided not to release them on the launch. Fine. Now, how about you just exfoliate as much positive out of existing stuff as possible, essentially polish the existing features and introduce quality of life improvements, like for example for the fucking menus and UI. And they kinda did partially, but not fully. If you remember, the crafting is absolute garbage still.
It's actually not too bad now.
First of all, it's slow, it's glitchy, and especially I think it should still be about glitchy, because I didn't see anyone, note that it doesn't stop, glitching out when you have too much crap in your gear. I mean, in your backpack. So yeah.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't know about that. I would regularly clean out my backpack anyway. Break it all down into components, which was easy, and then converting those components into like something that I was mass producing was also easy. So I was kind of okay and happy with that. And honestly, this is my biggest problem here. I hate being stuck with Johnny. I hate it. I hate that every like 20 minutes or so the screen glitches out and you fall over, your character like bends over and starts puking because he's so sick, and he has to go and find a cure and get Johnny out of his head. But you know what? Let's go race around the city a couple more times, and have a dirt race. And let's go help that group over there, and let's go do some stupid side quest here. All while puking your guts out. And it was stupid. And I wish there was a way that we could actually play a character so that, we could at least pretend that was different. So in Skyrim, if you never go to Whiterun and tell the freaking Jarl about the dragons, they never spawn in the game.
Yeah,
I was hoping
that starts the spawning of dragons. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I was hoping there was an equivalent in Cyberpunk where if you didn't go past a certain point, you could just not get Johnny in your head and kind of just roll through the rest of the game. And you kind of could. You could download a little glitch or a little mod here or there, and you can install it, and you could basically play through the entire game without Johnny. But you also kind of get hosed because there's a lot, not a whole lot to really do. And
well, that's a story.
And there's a couple events.
You see, that's just a crucial part of the story stuff. Well, every game kind of has.
So much of that stuff was based on Johnny.
It's just that. Seems you're hang up about that a bit too much, but fair enough. I get the idea, because it is introduced as a ticking clock, and when the ticking clock has no teeth, well, what is the reason for you to, respect the ticking clock? That is kind of the problem, isn't it? So, oh well.
Anyway. So yeah, updates are pushed back. Hopefully they do something better than the last patch, but I don't have high hopes because it's been over a year, and why would I? So
that it is indeed. Well, anyways, since I can't really open any, Windows and extras, so on and so forth, I'll rely on Pilot here to read out the topic ideas. So what's
how about
next?
This? I was going to say, speaking of games that are over a year old, you have God of War is coming to PC.
Yes. In this particular week, Sony announced that God of War is finally coming, much like Horizon Zero Dawn, on PC as well. And god damn it, I can't wait to play it. Like, it really is one of those things that, just like Zero Dawn, I was waiting for a long time. Had seen a few things, even played it, a little bit, and realized that yes, at least mechanically it works and it seems okay, and hopefully will end up being really good. And considering the critical acclaim, it most likely will be. Surprisingly, this is as close as I get to word hype, I guess, but there you go. We'll see. I definitely want to hear.
It's God of War, man.
Definitely want to hear Christopher Judge and just to see the story as well. Oh, yeah.
I always forget that it's Christopher Judge. That it's Teal from
just
Stargate. I fucking love that.
I just absolutely remember because he's from Stargate. I like Stargates, and well, it's kind of a combination of something really good together. So yeah, right. So yeah. That's pretty much coming next. I think it was next year or so, or something like that. There you go.
Oh yeah, I saw this. Okay, so Dota's animated Netflix series is getting a second season. Did the first season already pop?
Oh yep. It popped. Oh gosh, when was
Words.
it? Early this year, I think it was something like that.
I didn't end up watching it. Was it good?
It actually ended up being pretty good. There's a character who mentions Latvia, as a matter of fact, by name. So that is interesting for myself overall. So yeah, it's an interesting thing. So yeah, you can catch the moment when a joke is made and Latvia's name is invoked. However, overall, the show is. Oh wait, no, it was Castlevania. Fuck, it was Castlevania. Dota's Netflix animated series.
Oh, for God's sake.
It was surprisingly interesting. A little bit thought-provoking and so forth. As somebody who enjoys the lore of Dota, specifically the Dota 2, right? Interesting to see basically characters before the game takes place. Basically, the time frame and the idea. Seeing the characters I kind of know, some of them that don't care, or proto characters, if you will. So yeah, overall, but the story-wise, it's also pretty interesting. It tries to do a bit more than it should probably, but at least they're trying. And story-wise, you can see a lot of effort being placed. And visually, it's as you would expect from just like Castlevania as well. So visually pleasing. Obviously animated on 2s and maybe sometimes 3s at best, but I like more fluid animation these days, but it is what it is. Regardless.
Wait, I'm sorry. You said it's animated on 2s?
Yes. Most animation is
For
animated
real?
on 2s. Often 3s. Only time when animation is animated or drawn on
I don't think you got that right, man.
Yes.
No, okay. So I granted, I'm not an animator. I don't know a whole hell of a lot of it. But did you ever watch Noodle's 60 frames per second thing?
Noodles? No, I wouldn't. No, don't think.
Okay. He does a pretty quick, succinct breakdown of animation styles and what it looks like, and animating on 2s and then 3s, etc., etc. I'm pretty sure from the trailers I've seen that it's not
trailers. Okay,
2s,
right. Let me explain. So back in the day, Disney, right? They were the forerunners of animation in general. So you see, the way animation tends to save budget quite a bit and time in making is animating on 2s, animating on 3s, rather than animating on ones. By which, those that don't know, animating on something number means that essentially you're changing the frame according to that number. Essentially, animating on 2s means that animation for the frame rate that it will be displayed on is animated on multiple frames. So animating on 2s means every 2 frames, a frame of animation changes. So yeah, that, you know, introduces less work. So you, rather than needing to put 24 frame full animation, you can just go around with or go along with 12 frame animation being stretched on that frame rate. And the same thing with 3s, which is on every 3 frames one motion changes, and so on and so forth. Now, when animation requires quick action, essentially, to well, a lot of action, if you will, then, only then, will animation jump to animating on ones. That is, every frame something changes. Because slow actions don't need that extra frame anywhere. You can easily just toss it out and save time. So yeah, for trailers where you often see quite a bit of action, in fact, most of the time, just action, what do you think that animation is made of? I highly doubt it's on 2s. So yeah, there you go. That's essentially the cost cutting thing. And I know this because not only I do enjoy animation in general, but surprisingly I just ended up somehow just learning about it, if you will. And I am glad that I learned not only that, but also the principles of animation and so on and so forth, just properly reading through, you know, papers as well as the ideas behind all that stuff. And it gives you insight and appreciation too. So there you go. But yeah, the show overall, the first season is pretty nice. I do recommend checking it out. And yeah, the second season is coming. So yeah,
very cool. For the chat, I'm puppy sitting this weekend, and that was my brother's little pup.
You decided to okay, I see. So while
I got ambushed.
People, yeah, just folks got distracted. I see. Okay, well, all right then. The way to steal the show.
I got ambushed. It's not my fault.
Oh, sure, it's not. Okay. Well, anyways, that's that. Next topic, I suppose.
Let's see. Apparently, they renamed McCree in
yes,
freaking Overwatch. And why did they do this again?
Right. So essentially, with the open allegations about the sexual harassment and other, you know, shitty things within the Blizzard and Activision and so on and so forth. Well, one of the level designers for the Diablo 4, and I think it was Overwatch as well, basically one of the employees who was named, or rather, because of whom McCree was named, well, was one of the subjects of these allegations, and thus, to rectify and you know, to sort of sweep the issue away somehow, I suppose. I don't know how you describe it, but basically, yeah, they just decided, hey, this thing is, or this part of the game is named after a person that did a bad thing. Now we're gonna change the name because of that, and it's not the first time you see this thing in
Seriously?
general.
That's really
not in
fucking
Overwatch,
dumb.
but I mean in general media and so on and so forth. So yeah.
Wait, hold on. Does changing the character's name undo the sexual assault? No?
The thing is, the character.
Maybe it's a useless fucking thing.
The character itself was named the McCree, right? Right. That character, that cowboy, was named after this this person that, you know, later did it turns out to do the bad thing, right? And thus the company decided, well, hey, to not further associate ourselves with that person or have that reminder, we'll just remove their name, you know, or change the name of the character.
That's exactly what I just said.
And the same thing happened in the WoW, yeah, World of Warcraft as well, a little while back, where they, I think, removed characters with, you know, such people, if you will, that turned out to be, accused of such wrongdoings.
Okay, but wait, hold on. I'm confused. How does renaming the character fix anything?
Well, that's all you can do, really. What else you're supposed to do? Keep the name of a person that did a thing, a bad thing.
But
okay,
the video game character didn't do the bad thing.
Yes, but still being named after somebody like that still carries its own negatives, and it's understandable why a company would like to disassociate from the person as much as possible, even in a referential or Easter egg like or what else.
All right, it's
completely
dumb.
understandable,
Cool.
and then it's not the first time in video games or media entertainment has something like this happen. It's not that hard to understand now, Pilot, is it?
It really is hard to understand because it makes no fucking sense. But what it...
All right. So let's say
your
company is named Bob's Solutions. Okay. Your friend.
I want nothing to do with this.
No, we're doing this because Pilot needs a lesson here. Okay, so you have this company, Bob's Solution, and you have this employee called Bob for whom you've named the company for, right? Okay. Now Bob one day decides he's gonna blow up a building with people in it. Would you still call your company Bob's Solution in that case?
Yes, because there's plenty of people named fucking Bob.
Imagine a more specific name then. Because the character was named quite specifically.
Come up with a better specific analogy then.
It's like your imagination just does not function.
I don't want to do this. I do not want to do this because it's dumb.
Well, too bad for you. We're doing it. Or did. Carry on the next topic. What we got?
No Man's Sky is doing their latest expedition. It's vaguely Halloween themed without really explicitly calling it Halloween.
Yeah.
It has a lot of sandworms, and at least one of the gifts is a worm mask that kind of moves independently while you're walking around, and it's fucking creepy. But it's kind of cool though at the same time. So if you haven't done it, give it a shot.
Yeah, it's nifty though. When I think of something scary, when it comes to No Man's Sky, the scariest thing I suppose would be either the Atlas rooms themselves or derelict freighter. There we go. That was perfectly. I think it was introduced.
The what freighter?
Yeah, the derelict freighter. That fucking thing. That you can go into, shoot some little pesky alien thingies from eggs, and that thing was introduced, I think, around Halloween as well. So, yeah. Last year.
Do me a favor. Can you say spaghetti?
Spaghetti.
Okay, I was wondering if you're going to pronounce it like Paschetti or something. And it's derelict, by the way.
Derelict, motherfucker, derelict.
It's derelict.
Daleks.
Dollar.
Right. Well, what else we got for the news? You pick.
Let's
today.
see. Okay, you got this long string of letters. It says November 18.
Okay. November 18.
2020.
Hold on. There was
gets
something
Game of the Year
up.
version with 5 new aircraft.
Oh yes, right. Microsoft Flight Simulator. Right. So Microsoft Flight Simulator, as it happens, was already gearing up to improve performance for the last year since it released, because it still doesn't run that well, if you know. So yeah, one of the big performance improvement attempts will be in that said 18th November to introduce the early version of DirectX 12, which for me is the most awaited feature for the Microsoft Flight Simulator. Though yeah, with that update they are basically calling their name, or well, the version of the game at that point, the Game of the Year version. Anyways, the point is, with this update, they are introducing a few aircraft, a few more missions, a few more additional little tidbits. But basically, for me, the most important thing is definitely the DirectX 12 support. Because, the game still suffers from quite a bit of CPU bottlenecking. And to alleviate that, at least to some degree, DirectX 12 would be appreciated. And yeah, there you go. Around that time, you can expect some improvements, of course, on the graphics cards that can muster DirectX 12. These days, actually, quite a lot of them, though. So there you go. Yeah.
I'm sure everything that you just said was very important, but I was not listening. Can you say purple burglar alarm?
Oh, you're going with the Scottish thingamajig, huh?
Apparently.
Purple burglar alarm.
Oh,
Is it too hard to pronunciate things, Mr. Pilot? And yes, I know I tend to flub up quite a bit of words sometimes, but hey, at least I try to pronounce the English language, which you learned quite a bit, as well clearly as possible when it makes sense. Which it doesn't often.
What?
But in any case.
Okay.
Carrying on.
Carrying on. Hey, because it is technically technology news and something I actually give a nothing. It's technically news that I give a shit about and everything like that. The Pixel 6 came out.
Oh, okay.
And I went and bought one for the missus. And
So?
it should be arriving any day soon, or hopefully, or maybe not at all, because there's no really shipping and any real shipping details. But the thing looks awesome, and I'm really excited and happy what they've done with Android 12. And yeah, I think it's going to be good. And I've been really excited for a new Google flagship phone for a very long time. I'm still rocking the Pixel 3a, so I'm happy to get an upgrade there.
Pocophone with the what was it, Lineage OS booted onto it, so, and the screen is having fun times. Actually, let's see whether I can recreate it real quick for the folks at home. Oh yeah, this is fun times. So basically, what happens with my phone is essentially this is an app. Oh god, it's purple. But all right, whatever. Basically, I can swipe a little bit, and it basically shows where my finger touches. Now, what happens if I swipe my finger across the screen for a little bit in just one place? You might see something happen elsewhere. So let's see.
What?
You might see dots appearing in the places where my finger is not touching. And that is the result of not dirty screen or anything like that. It's a fucking hardware issue, it seems. Because
the digitizer is fucked.
Yeah, it seems like it. And
you're just gonna get it replaced.
Yeah, no one likes to turn in their phone, for a week or so. So yeah. Sucks.
All right.
But yeah, I'm working on. I do want to bring it in for repairs, but goddamn it, it's fucking annoying when that happens, and that's just because hey, my pants got a little bit sweaty as I was moving around, as they do.
I did not think our conversation was going to naturally turn around to you
That's
walking
technology
around in your sweaty,
anyways.
wet pants. But okay. Anyway, I bought. I bought the missus a Pixel 6, but I didn't get one for myself, mostly because A, it's, I didn't want to pay for it. And B, because I'm really hoping that sometime soon, like in the next couple months, we're going to get a Pixel 6 Fold. And I am really looking forward to that. I want a freaking Fold, dude. I love ever since Inspector Gadget, when I was a kid, and Penny had that little foldable computer thing, I've always wanted it, and I'm hoping that this one nails it, because the Microsoft Duo is not it. The Samsung one that folds in half, not it. The first generation, the second generation, all of it's garbage. I'm hoping this one nails it. And they pushed it off and they pushed it back. And I need it to be a foldable book phone that I can open up and just read
You
or
mean
play.
it like Samsung's Fold?
I just said
Flip,
the
right?
Samsung Fold is not the right one. No, because
The
that
Fold,
is terrible.
but there's the Flip.
I don't want a Flip. I want a Fold.
So you mean like a properly foldable screen, right?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, that ain't gonna happen. It's gonna be garbage.
Why not?
Every
we've
single
had foldable
one of those
screens
foldable things is garbage.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. This is literally what I've been saying. I'm hoping, because Google at least attempts to
It's
not
gonna happen.
openly half-ass things.
That's my point. It's not gonna happen. Technology is not there, buddy. We can't recreate him, or we can't save him.
We've had foldable LED technology for 15 years.
Sure.
Why can't this be done?
It hasn't been widely implemented. It hasn't been tested properly, and definitely rushing it to market when this technology, particularly, in an environment that is not just in a dry space or being protected by some other layer which you don't care for, in a place or in a device and form factor that you really care for, every little inch, centimeter, millimeter, whatever, right? The size you want it to be, it's just not gonna happen. Sure, we have foldable watch assets, right? But the problem is that when you see that foldable tech, it's either A, being in a protective environment, or being protected by a layer of, whatever, coating and so on and so forth that you don't often care for. For phones, you do. You have to, you really do. Have you seen all the reviews about the foldable phones? And how
I'm sorry.
soft
I literally
the
cannot take you
glass
seriously
is.
with your busted ass Vodafone there. No. And look, the foldable phones, admittedly, I said it myself, they're not the best right now. I'm hoping Google will change that. I have hopes. I have dreams. I want it to be true. I also understand that it probably won't. But I don't need to preemptively crush my hopes. I need something to live for. I have very few.
I see. I too think naivete can be fun.
Yes, hope is often confused with naivete. I have hope.
Whatever you say, buddy. Whatever you say. Right,
anyway,
what do we got next?
Also, I'm sorry, real quick. The camera on both models is fucking amazing and well worth the upgrade price anyway. Even if nothing else.
I don't know. I'm kind of a purist that goes for camera in your phone should be okay to just get a moment shot. Sure.
Oh no! This is amazing.
But for real footage, for real photography or filmography. Get the fucking camera.
No. Okay, look, hold on. The Pixel 6 Pro has the regular camera, the zoom camera, and the telephoto camera.
Yes.
And when you go to open up a picture, go open up the camera app and just take a picture, it uses all three, and then grabs the AI grabs a composite image of all three of them, and it does this and that and blur and this and that, so it actually looks like it came out of a proper fucking DSLR. Like a $10,000 DSLR, and
until you
for
zoom
my
in.
money, that's no.
Have you tried? Okay, take a photo with that Pixel once it arrives. Take let's see, you had the T3i, right? So take your camera, make the same photography with the same resolution, give or take, and then try to zoom in on both. Let's see which one looks the better.
Okay, I mean, that's probably a terrible example. The T3i, which is the same camera that you're using, and both the cameras that we're showing our faces on.
But yeah, okay.
Whatever. Fine. We'll just do mine. My image, what you see on the screen right now, is actually coming through that T3i through a USB cable, okay? It is, the actual resolution here is 1024 by 576. Okay, you could argue that this DSLR was not made to be a streaming camera. That's perfectly fair. I've taken some very nice shots on it, but I'm gonna be honest with you. What is it? This camera is like 12 years old. You want to put up a 12-year-old DSLR against a current gen smartphone? I think the DSLR might lose. It's a bad analogy. I mean, great. Current day smartphone is better than a decade-old DSLR.
Yes, there is something to be said about the post-processing that modern, flagship phones have on their cameras. Blah 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 blah. But still, my experience is that on the first glance, the photo, because it is larger sometimes even, than I have actually a really old Canon soap boxy type of those types of digital cameras, basically, right? And photos from that, okay, filming absolutely garbage. But the point is basically that that camera, you compare its equal size resolution picture with a modern phone, right? At the first glance, the phone looks better because it is, first of all, most likely oversaturated, over-sharpened as well, which is a common couple of things that they do, but not the only ones. But when you start zooming in on the pictures, you start noticing details that in normal cameras, sensor and thing, blah blah blah, basically the noise as well, that captures far better and better than the phone. So it's the minute details that actually bring in the actual worth of a full-bodied sensor for a camera. So yeah,
I don't think you're right, but I'm also not smart enough to argue with you. So moving on.
I'm photography pleb, but just we need somebody in the chats who is actually a photographer, or at least knows more about this stuff than both of us. So tell us, who have wrong or not. But anyways,
Starfield reveals some small info and concept art, and there's a link.
Right, so
I haven't seen any of this, so pull it up.
Actually, why not? Let me just find. Hopefully, it won't cut off your footage. Let's see, where was it? Give me a moment. Starfield today. Okay, I didn't have link there. Give me a moment. But yeah, basically Starfield, the developers released a couple
hold on. Yes. While you pull that up, Dotton is in the chat, and he always knows stuff. He says, I strongly agree with Yemix here. More important, optical resolution is determined by the absolute diameter of the aperture. So basically what you're telling me is if I take a freaking DSLR lens and build a freaking adapter to go slap it on the back of my phone,
it works.
Would
to
that
an
make
extent.
the difference?
It works to if you didn't know, there's a fun little trick you can do with actually cameras. Let's see, and your camera is. No, you're moving. Okay, good. Right. Let me just put it on here. There we go. That's the trailer thing, right?
Hi, I'm Emil Pagliarulo, design director of Bethesda Game Studios. We're very excited to offer you this exclusive look at Starfield and the exciting universe we've created, which is an area.
Actually, hold on. First, before we go,
let's
finish the camera topic. Right. So yeah, essentially, the camera, a fully bodied camera has a bigger sensor, thus it can, get in more light as well as handle the pixels,
body coming.
blah blah blah, better, blah blah blah. All that nonsense. So yeah, there you go. There's also, generally speaking, the lens and so on and so forth. But however, if you want to do a little fun trick with your camera, with your phone, you can put a little droplet of water onto your lens for the phone, and it will actually zoom a little bit more. Obviously, water being water, camera needs to be always looking upwards, So yeah, that's the only way you can shoot macro nonsense, but it's a cheap way to sort of get a little bit of zoom, depending on the.
Or you could just buy a macro lens for your phone.
That is true. Yeah, there are relatively.
It's probably
cheap.
better than putting water on it. Yeah.
No, it's a fun little trick. It's just a fun little trick that I noticed somewhere, I think. But yeah, basically it's a little fun little trick you can do actually. Well, anyways,
of our solar system we call the settled systems.
Yeah.
Our game is set in the year
sound,
2330, in a relatively small pocket of the Milky Way,
video you're playing.
in an area that extends outward from our solar system for approximately 50 light years. Around.
Okay, yeah, but, all right. Fuck it. Y'all can go and watch it yourselves. But the point is, essentially, Bethesda came out and showcased a few little details about essentially, concept art, as you can see, of Starfield. And what the environmental, or, well, the story-wise sort of lore of the world is in the game. So there you go. You got a few concept arts, really no new footage, and a few explanations as to, what they plan on the Starfield. And that's reused footage as well. So yeah, if you're interested about Starfield, that's as much as they gave us for the time being. Obviously, the more stuff will come out, the sooner, or the closer we get to the release of the game, which is next year, at the end of next year. So 6 months from the release, start expecting something from them. Until then, it's going to be minimal, minute little snippets of information. But there you go, a little bit here and there if you're interested. So yeah, that's Starfield's news.
Okay.
Next.
I mean, I'm excited in the sense that I want a single player
sure, yeah,
solo adventure of Star Citizen, but yeah, until I get more of that, then I'm not going to get myself too hyped.
Yeah, well, we'll see when we see more of it. Right. What else?
It just works. Yeah.
Oh God. Yeah. Yeah.
NZXT, which is rapidly becoming my favorite PC parts company, has released a kit, for first-time builders, so you don't blow everything up. Literally, they send you a packet with a little Lego instructions, like you bought a Lego kit. The tools, everything that you need to put it together, all the components, etc., and a little guide that if you want to switch out any of the components, this is how you do it, and this is what you have to consider. And it actually seems really freaking awesome. And they even advertise the fact that, hey, look, if you source the parts yourself, it's cheaper than buying this, but here's how you can do it in the future. Here's how you can source your own parts. Here's how you can replace it. See if they're compatible. This is how you would replace this or that or blah, blah, blah. That's great. I love that NZXT has done this. I love their stuff.
No,
I'm very happy.
It is appreciated. Slight problem with basically that approach they are making is that YouTube exists and many channels have wonderful guides to building PCs and actually tend to have quite a bit of up-to-date updates on more newer tech.
All right. Okay.
So
hold on. I understand what you're going for, but I hate to drag out an old '90s business term, but this is synergy. If you have a company that sells PC parts and they're releasing a well thought out and illustrated guide, if they release an illustrated, well thought out, well developed guide of how to use and build and blah 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 blah, ultimately it's better. Because for the answer for most things is there's a better tutorial on YouTube. Yeah, but how do you find it?
I could snarkily say you just write it in how to build a computer, and shit you not, there will be plenty of those types of tutorials. But it's a one-stop shop.
A lot of them are
essentially
garbage.
It's offering a service that is just getting everything together, if you will. And sure, yeah, all right.
Look, I'd love to go. I'd go to Linus too.
It's fine. It's just that my cynical self is still thinking, well, capitalizing on ignorance kind of bit much. But fuck it. It's a good-natured thing, so I can't be too mad about it or whatnot else. So fine.
Exactly. Yeah. Anyway, I thought it was awesome.
It's okay. It's okay.
Now, see, the real question is, does the kit actually come with that anti-static glove that they used for the Steam Deck?
No, I have two of them. There we go. Yeah, I have two of them.
Really? I've been building PCs all my life. I've never used the anti-static.
Oh,
glove.
I never used that either. The chances of statically discharging and killing a component is incredibly low, especially considering that Electro Boom just recently collaborated with Linus Tech Tips to actually showcase that particular stuff. Not that it doesn't happen. It's just that, well, relatively speaking, modern hardware is quite durable, at least, you know, to that sort of level of electrical discharge, shall we say?
I mean, I've never done it myself. I've never actually seen anyone who has done it.
Yeah, I've built a few.
Did they
computers.
actually succeed?
I haven't zapped any of my components, so yeah, don't know any single person that has. Then again, not that many friends of mine actually build computers as vividly as I tend to, or vigorously as I do. But still, it's you know, hey, it. The fact is, it can happen. You know, it is electrical charge, and who knows what. But yeah,
whatever.
It's better than better be safe than sorry, as they say. But yeah, can't say that I can recall a moment when that has happened to yours truly, and or anyone that I would know of. Still safe than sorry.
Speaking of the Steam Deck. The verification video, Half-Life 2 beta branch.
Right. So, this week, Valve released an additional video about Valve's Steam Deck, and rather how the Steam will work together with Steam Deck. And essentially, they showcased the verification process for the Valve's deck. Essentially, when you go on market with the Steam Deck itself, you would see plenty of games with the you know, little marker that would designate whether or not the game is verified and works perfectly with the Steam Deck. It works but needs some, you know, additional kajiggering, if you will, a very technical term there, you know, changing settings and so on and so forth to actually make it work. Unknown and unsupported, right? You know, basically setting some rather easy to understand and simple way or means for anyone who uses Steam Deck to understand whether or not the game that they would be about to purchase would work on the Steam Deck. Now, that was the video that they discussed the stuff about. Now you can go and check it out. It's, you know, it's an informative video as it is. However, it's interesting that Valve sort of updated a couple of games behind everyone's backs, and one of them was Half-Life 2. See, with Half-Life 2 and other Valve's titles, they promise to improve them and bug fix them so that on the Steam Deck, their stuff would work. And the changes they did to Half-Life 2 were actually surprisingly interesting ones. One of them was the widescreen support, you know, basically monitor support. That was one of them that was missing. Another one was increasing the FOV slider, the field of view, and changing the HUD. So the original HUD, essentially, is not exactly how it should work. It should scale specifically with the game, and now it does. However, the more important thing for me was that they introduced Vulkan for Half-Life 2. Yes! And they promise to do that for all of their titles that are, you know, playable and so on and so forth, or more popular. I doubt that they will touch Ricochet, but I would be surprised if they do. And hey, mad props if they do, really. So yeah, we can expect Vulkan for hopefully all the Valve's games. Although I don't know if the old Half-Life's even need it, because it does run on either software, which is DirectX, or OpenGL. So, I mean, OpenGL is kind of predecessor for Vulkan. But we'll see. But either which way, I do appreciate them still sort of silently going behind everyone's backs and just pushing out a good update. And I'll definitely load up Half-Life 2 to just test out the Vulkan. Oh, because, the frame rates. Oh, I can't wait for it. So yeah, something positive from the Steam Deck and more.
I mean, did Half-Life 2 really need Vulkan?
No, surprisingly,
really?
No. It runs on DirectX 9, and it
I'm saying
it is extremely well optimized, but there are issues. There are issues with DirectX 9 that later versions of DirectX as well as OpenGL didn't have. But those have to do mostly with basically the way, you know, textures, models, and blah blah blah, memory is loaded in. Probably Dotton here in the chats can basically tell more about that. But basic point is, I appreciate games being updated for all modern APIs.
Modern tech.
Yes.
I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. You know you're my friend, and I respect your opinion greatly. But when you get into the technical details of some of these things, my eyes just glaze over, and it's so hard to focus.
Well, I know it's. Well, hey,
I know.
Talk about anything that you enjoy, and I'll show just as much respect for that too.
Actually, I can't because I can't because I actually, the last thing I have to talk about is something for you.
Shoot.
I have a gift. Yeah. If you look on the list, there's a link to a Twitter thing at the very bottom. I have no need for this thing, but I think you would want it, and I kind of want it too. So go ahead and open it. Go ahead and put it up on the screen, and I think you'll enjoy this. This is a dice app.
Where is it? All right, give me a moment.
Giving you a moment.
Oh, for fuck's sake, just open the motherfucking... Oh my god, just open the link, stupid thing. Right.
How did you botch How did you botch the link?
I'm
literally watching you mess with it.
Right. Right. I see. Right. This reminds me of actually another thing. There you go.
There's a bunch of dice apps.
Yeah. Basically, it's a digital-looking dice thingamaboober, which is not the only one that I know of, actually. This is not the only example of such a dice app. There's this game on Steam called Tabletop Simulator, which literally has this.
No, keep watching. So you can customize the freaking dice, dude.
Not
look
to
at
that dice customization level, but the point is that Tabletop Simulator has the same principle and idea, but with actual play space, not just you making dice and throwing them around. So
and watch. So it actually does the calculations for you. You can actually set it so that dice do that you can calculate, what was it? The damage, the initiative, etc. Different dice have different meanings.
Basic RPG nonsense. Yes. It's really nice. It's really nice.
Come on, man, that's awesome. Yeah.
It is nice. It's definitely nice. Not that I haven't seen something similar to it. That's kind of the point. But hey.
Well, no, I mean we've seen the physics. And a whole bunch of other things. But the customization is a really nice touch.
No, it's definitely a nice touch. Really, really, really putting a little bit of extra work in there. But, when your program you're making is all about dice, well, in a way, it's kind of expected, isn't it?
Okay, but there's also I do actually like the calculation shit too.
Oh, it's absolutely
because I have used
that
tabletop.
Is really good. Yeah. Otherwise, how else are you supposed to count things and blah blah blah. But yeah,
I mean I've used Tabletop Simulator before. It didn't. Last I checked, it didn't do the calculating.
Yeah, it just simply allows physics objects being placed in the environment and you just playing in a virtual space. That's all the Tabletop Simulator is, and of course with mods. If you really want to, you can go and blah, but point is, you made your point, and it was a good one, yes.
Does Yemix ever like anything? Apparently not haircuts. But that was good. I like that. All right.
Anything else left?
Actually, I think we do have one more thing. Let me check.
Actually, we're going over our usual hour, but fuck it, since today is a special, event.
Actually, we're not. We're just under the thing.
Oh, are we? Oh, well, regardless.
Blah blah. Your 10-year anniversary. Donuts animated. Elden Ring is delayed.
Ah, yes, right.
Yay.
So, recently on the Twitters, the Elden Ring's official account came and just announced, hey, apparently we have bigger. What was it? How did they say it? I think it was the scope increased as they developed the game, and due to that sort of scope increasement or scope creep, if you will, they decided, well, hey, we will delay the game until the 2020 February to release. And honestly, as it is with all the Soulsborne games out there, doesn't matter which one it is, or even if it's not made by From Software, people get mad, and it's always really funny to see. But in the end, games tend to be really good, so I'm willing to wait and enjoy my masochism yet once more next year.
And for the record, for the guy in the chat, no, I'm not excited for the GTA trilogy. I don't understand why everyone else is.
I didn't see the screen grabs that people have been posting around, but yeah, GTA 3, San Andreas, and Vice City, I think it was, all are getting remastered.
I played all those games.
Yeah, I played all of them too, but I never really liked any of them except for the 3, and it's broken garbage. So
you didn't like Vice City?
Yeah, I like the idea. I like the aesthetic and so on and so forth, but it never grabbed me. None of the GTA games overall grabbed me at all. I don't know. It's at the time, right? So I'm coming from the first-person perspective player, opinion spectrum, if you will, and I really, enjoy the first-person shooter game stuff, and still do. And when it comes to shooting games from third person, I hate them. Unless they are melee based, which third person is perfect for. Third person for shooting is a cheat mode and pretty, actually, counter immersive, if you will. Only examples would be
no. Oh, stop. You're way overthinking this. Vice City is fucking awesome. That soundtrack is amazing.
No, soundtrack
running around and blowing things up.
The story was pretty okay. Yeah, I like.
If you're comparing a first-person shooter to any GTA, you're doing it wrong. You're playing it the wrong way.
Hold on. Is Pilot telling me
simulator.
how to play my games and how to enjoy them now?
I'm telling you how to play this one. Yes, you're doing it wrong. You're doing it wrong. It's a fuck-around simulator.
Pilot, let me tell you. Fuck off and let me play the games the way I want to play them, shall we? Okay? Okay. Now, the point is, I specifically explained this, even though you didn't seem to listen. I come from the first-person perspective. I enjoy the first-person games the most. And seeing, shooter games, but in third person, turns me off, because I know that it can be better and it should be better. However, as a game in itself, fine. It's geared to be a third person game in general. Fine, it does its own things, and I respect it that much. It's just that I have preference to first person stuff, and most other things that are not first person, well, they have to be pretty special to actually entice me quite a bit. Dead Space would be a great example of third-person shooter type of a game that I actually really like, even though I wouldn't really consider it.
I'm gonna give you the answer that you give me every time I say I don't like this genre of games, because it's not like the genre of games I do like. Too fucking bad.
Well, exactly.
Yeah. Get good, scrub. Anyway, my friend, I think we are actually at our time, and we are out of topics, and I think we've had a decent show.
I suppose so. I wouldn't expect this sort of a special occasion next time, but well, let us know, of course, and if you enjoy and all that stuff, or even if you even care about the space-based news as a whole thing, or whatnot else. But other than that, well, since it is the end, I might as well go and check. Do we have any subscribers? Let's see, for the Twitch side. No donations or anything like that. Nope. Alright, well, in that case, we can just simply straight up end. No super chats to read or anything like that. So, guys, hopefully you enjoyed. Yep, the space-based news. This is a little bit different space-based news as it is and so on and so forth. Next week, expect hopefully some more interesting news about the industry, nonsense, and whatnot. Oh my gods, how could we didn't talk about one specific topic, and I blame you, Pilot. You're the one today, or well, these weeks and months, who brings up all sorts of movies, series, and whatnot else. How could you not have brought
Somebody has to have culture.
No. Then, Mr. Cultured Person, tell me, why did you not bring up Dune?
I haven't watched it yet.
Exactly, I haven't watched it as well, but how could you dare not bring it up? I almost fucking forgot. It's out, and I certainly will go and take a look at it.
Listen,
and hopefully next week we'll have something to talk about.
I grabbed the 22 gig version of it. I didn't want to watch the full thing because it just locks down the network if I stream it across. So I spent a good chunk of the day having Plex convert it to 8 gigs, and that was fine. And then I was watching it, but then we were puppy sitting, and this dog does not want me to watch anything without just massacring my face. So I will talk about it next week.
Oh yeah, there you go. They should have mentioned Mr. Cultured Person. All right. Oh shit! There goes my headphone jack. And with that wonderful note, I suppose we can. There we go. End
take
the
it
show.
easy, everyone.
So take it easy, and we'll see you next time. And here's to the 10 years of yours truly. Oh boy. Ooh. You're not gonna do your thing? Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. No, we're pretty. What is it?
Hold
we're hot.
on.
Give us money. We're pretty. Give us money.
No, no show. Okay, well, all right then.
Okay.
No visuals to go with that. No, all right.
Oh, okay. Here, we'll do this.
Oh God! Just no. That we're canceled. Just bye.